Hey guys, it's coffee time. And the cat rediscovered that he has his little tunnel. So every now and then we might hear some rustling noises because that thing can get loud. So if you hear weird rustling noises, it's the cat playing with his tunnel. It's so funny because I don't know if other people's cats are like this, because my cat doesn't do a lot of cat things for whatever reason, which is why we always call him a dog. But he will lose interest in a thing or forget that it's a fun thing to play with, and then all of a sudden he's all about it again. Like, he's had this tunnel for a while, and when he first got it, he was like, this is the best, and never left it. Just thought it was so great, felt like nobody could ever see him, and felt so, you know, incognito, and it was adorable. But then he just stopped playing with it. He stopped using it. He didn't care anymore. And I was like, oh, guess we're done. Guess we're done with the tunnel. That's too bad. And now all of a sudden, the last like day or so, he's been playing with the tunnel again. I was about to put it somewhere in my closet and just be like, I guess we're not playing with this anymore. And now he's all about it again. So I'm like, well, I'm glad that I didn't get rid of that or like hide it from you, because apparently you make the rounds. You double back. The other I can't remember if I've already told you guys this, but the other non-cat thing that he does is most cats they enjoy laying on like clothes, or, you know, there are always pictures online of people being like, God, why do cats always lay on keyboards? Why do cats always lay on my phone? Why do cats always lay on my work, right? Like, they just want to be like on whatever you're doing. And Sherlock has never been like that. But Sherlock also isn't a super cuddly cat. He doesn't like to lay on me. He doesn't like to lay against me. He likes, when I go to bed, he likes to be on the bed, but he's like at least this far away from me. He's like, I don't want us touching, but I want to lay here with you so that you can pet me if like you're bored. I'm like, oh, okay. Huh, kitty? I know, huh? So, yeah. I think that he's getting way too used to me feeding him, though, when I cook. Because a lot of the times, you know, it's chicken or ground turkey, and before I put any spices on it or anything, once I've like cooked it a little, sometimes I feed him a little bit. And every now and then, I'm not cooking anything with meat in it. I eat a lot of vegetarian things and vegan things because I can't have dairy. And those of you who've been with me for a long time know that I was vegan for a while. Like, I gave a really good crack at it. And yeah, so I learned a lot from that. And I really appreciate, you know, just eating things without meat and without dairy in them. But that means that he'll just sit there and wait and watch me cook things. And then he'll start meowing, staring at me like, what's the holdup? Why am I not eating everything right now? So today what I made, I have to tell you about this because we're all foodies here. Look, you're going to hear about this new food adventure. So today, I've had my julienne peeler for a while, and julienne peeler is basically, it's like a normal peeler like you would use on potatoes or veggies when you don't want the skin, but it has a little up and down blade so that when you peel, it turns it into strips. So there was one time when I was browsing around online and somebody was saying, yeah, what I really love to do is I love to, instead of having noodles, I love to use a julienne peeler on zucchini and then eat that like noodles. And I was like, I mean, they wouldn't be like noodles, right? like I wouldn't be trying to trick myself that way. I wouldn't be like, no, I'm just going to use these like spaghetti and it's going to be fine. But it intrigued me. So I got a julienne peeler, but I never took the time to buy zucchini. So a couple of days ago, I finally bought zucchini, and today I was like, oh, maybe I'll try that thing. But I wasn't convinced that it was going to be very good. I don't know why. It was just kind of like, well, I know what zucchini tastes like. So, you know. So, yeah, so I did it. I kept it, like, super simple and just kind of, like, wung it. but I did olive oil and then garlic in the pan for like 30 seconds. And then I added in one, and this was just, honestly, this wound up being one serving for me. But I was very hungry. So, and this would be a really good side dish, I think, too. So there's that. But, so I julienned an entire, like, decent-sized zucchini. And then added that and 3 scallions chopped in there all at the same time. And then mix it all up and let it cook on medium for a while. And then I added in salt and pepper, and I cut a bunch of cherry tomatoes in half, as many as I knew I wanted. And then put like a smidgen, just like a little tiny bit of Italian seasoning on it. And that was it. No, that wasn't it. Then I let that cook just like a little bit until the tomatoes had been just like slightly cooked, but not completely cooked. And then I put it in a bowl, and then I added, oh, what am I trying to say? It's basil. I added basil, but I'm trying to think of like how to explain what I did. It's if you just chopped up basil and then just added fresh basil at the end, like that's what I did. But I did it with my hands, and I was trying to think of like a verb, and it didn't happen, and whatever. But it wound up being amazing. It was so good, and I immediately wanted to just make that second zucchini. I was like, I should have made both. Why didn't I just make both zucchini at once? So, next time I know that I should use 2 zucchini at least. Like, double that recipe for me. But yeah, I think that it would be a really good, like, side dish. If you were like, well, I have chicken breast, but I don't know what I should have as, like, a side dish. You could make this. It took 10 to 15 minutes max. And that includes chopping everything. Like, it took no time, and it was so much payoff. I was just like, ate all of it so fast. Oh my gosh. I'm like daydreaming about it. Also bought artichokes today. I love artichokes. Artichokes and veggies. Veggies is one of those things that I like from doing the vegan thing. Veggies is one of those things that I try to convince people to try so often, and they never will. Veggies is a mayonnaise alternative, and I honestly think it's better than mayonnaise. And I tell everybody that, and they're like, no. And they refuse to try it. I'm like, no, but Veggies is so good. It's so good. If you live somewhere where Veggies is sold, I don't know where all it's sold, but if you ever see Veggies and you're curious, I would love for you to try it. They're different like flavors of Veggies too, but I just like the regular Veggies. I add it to, I use that in like tuna salad. I use it as any time that I would normally need mayo. And when I make artichokes, I normally dip into mayo. But I use Veggies instead. Or Italian dressing. There's that too. Artichokes and Italian dressing is so good. It's so good. Did I tell you guys about the time? This is going to be an entirely food episode. I hope you're excited. Did I ever tell you guys about when I was younger and I used to make sandwiches and I would pour Italian dressing all over my sandwich? And my mom started doing it. And then my mom and I just started doing it all the time. We were like, this is so good. We would get peppered turkey. We get peppered turkey and then toast the bread. And then we'd drizzle both sides of the bread with Italian dressing, and then just have like a turkey sandwich, and it was so good. But sometimes, if you didn't do the toasting part, the whole thing fell apart because that stuff just soaked into the bread and it was gross. But if you toasted the bread, guys, it's amazeballs. It's so good. I need to figure out what to do with the rest of that cabbage though, because I got cabbage for the stir fry a few nights ago, and I still have like half of that cabbage left. And somebody was saying that I should do cabbage rolls, but I don't know if there are enough like big leaves because of the way I cut it. I don't know if there are enough big leaves to do cabbage rolls. So if you guys have any ideas of things to do there's leftover cabbage, you should let me know. One of my favorite meals when I was growing up was corned beef and cabbage. Sometimes I daydream about that meal. There are a lot of meals that when I go home or hang out with my family, I'm like, you can just make anything. Anything that you used to make when I was younger, and I will be so happy. And every time I'm just like, this is the best. There's so much great food happening. Like, my mom and my dad are both great cooks. So it's always awesome to visit them. Just be like, look, I don't care who cooks. I don't care what you make. Just feed me and I love you. So, yeah. Someday we'll get to a point where I sometimes cook for them. But my dad's very picky. He doesn't like veggies, and I love veggies, and so we clash that way. So a lot of the things that I know how to make that aren't things that he already makes are veggie heavy. And he's like, I made pickle chips for them. They were not all about that. They were not feeling the pickle chips. It made me very sad. But I think that I put too much breading on them when I was there. Because I'm almost positive that the last time I made them for myself, I think that the breading was really light. And this time maybe the breading was a little too heavy. So the ratio was off. But my dad did want to try it again with bread and butter pickles instead of dill pickles, which I'm totally willing to try. I haven't had bread and buckle pillows. I haven't had bread and butter pickles since I was little, so I don't even remember what they taste like. But I'm adventurous with food. I'm down. I'm down, guys. Whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed and play Persona, and it's gonna be great. But I hope that you guys had a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. There's a stream going on. I'm going to be there at noon tomorrow, just on twitch.tv/thegamestation. It's going on right now. It's 48 hours, and it's called Scare to Care, and it's a marathon of horror games, and all of the donations and proceeds will go toward cancer research for kids. So it's a good cause, and it's fun, and they're constantly rotating in, like, Game Station people. Last time that I looked, it was Frodo and TJ and George, and I think that, who was going to be showing up? Continue Show is going to be showing up later. I'm going to be there tomorrow. I don't know who all is involved, but it sounds like they got a few people interested. So Markiplier, I think, might be showing up. But yeah, so it should be fun. Feel free to join us and hang out. And otherwise, I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye! Mwah!